It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. We're just moments away from the action, and it comes your way next on Madden NFL 25.
It is perhaps the best home field advantage in all of football, and certainly the loudest as we welcome you to GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City.
Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
Bitter rivals going back to their AFL days in the 1960s. The Chiefs and Raiders are underway.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field.
They'll be led out by their rookie quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one is capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Throwing to start the drive. Miller. And right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And his kick is good to make it 7-0 KC. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense.
And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 30.
And he'll be forced out of bounds all the way down at the 25-yard line. It's a big play there for Vegas.
And even 50 yards.
There's the arm strength that we saw in college and during the scouting process. And really, It's not just the arm strength there, but the placement as well. To me, that was an excellent combination of arm talent and accuracy.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 20, here's 2nd and 5. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually...
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Chris Jones, now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
Well, certainly not an ideal first quarter for him. Remember, he lost the fumble earlier, and here he ends up on the ground with a sack.
And sometimes what happens when you make a mistake early, you get too cautious going forward. Just cover up the football and take care of it and be able to cut it loose. Otherwise, your offense is going to stall.
4th down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson.
From the right hash, this from 48. The kick by Carlson is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here's the Chiefs offense for their first possession, and it's Patrick Mahomes at quarterback.
And when you think of Patrick Mahomes, you start to think about all of his attributes, and you realize very quickly, you can't just put him into one box. No matter how the game proceeds, no matter what is needed, he tends to have an answer for it and plays accordingly.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Now Mahomes.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. In motion, the tight end Kelsey. Shotgun snap to Mahomes.
Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 45-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
2nd down and 4.
Throw left side, completion to Rice. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
Well, that's one way and a good way to get things going offensively. One play in, and they're already on the move. The defense, they're hoping that's not a sign of things to come as this game unfolds.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes.
Got a man over the middle, Worthy.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Here's Mahomes to throw.
That one caught by Rice.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Mahomes hitting his favorite target, Travis Kelsey, on a touchdown pass.
And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Butker on for the PAT. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive.
And it culminates in a Travis Kelsey touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive.
And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Second quarter now, and it's Las Vegas with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
Short throw caught by Bowers.
And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the 1st down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a 1st down.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Mahomes going to throw.
And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. They go play action. Now Mahomes. And the Raiders have got him.
Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack.
Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
On 4th down, Matt Araiza sent on to punt.
So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go.
And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing to start the drive. Miller. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And that is incomplete.
Oh, that's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Off play action. Miller sliding out of the pocket. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out, because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
Off the play fake. Miller. And the pressure gets to him again.
More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Spinning past him. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
And out come the Chiefs now.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Now here's Mahomes.
He'll get this complete to Worthy.
3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Throwing now is Mahomes.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Raiders will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Throwing to start the drive. Miller.
Short throw caught by Bowers.
They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
2nd and 9.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
First carry of the game for Zamir White.
The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt. 3-yard return, and that will come the offense as they take over. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Mahomes now to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And a lot of being a defender is being able to learn what you can and can't get away with when in man coverage. In this case, he got away with it and helped pop that ball free.
Here's 2nd and 10.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Throw left side, complete. That's Rice. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Now it's Mahomes again.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have the Chiefs first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Again, he'll drop to throw.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
2nd and 10.
And again, it's Mahomes. It's caught inside the 25.
And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down inside the 15.
A big play there just before halftime. And even 40 yards.
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. Butker's kick here is good, and they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone.
So we have come to halftime and what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
In the first half, we saw some strong play from Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes. He's got a touchdown pass on the ledger as his guys were able to build a double-digit lead. The highlights are fairly one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference here at the break, but I wouldn't call this one over just yet. I think there could still be some fireworks yet to come.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. 17-3 the score as we resume action for the second half on EA Sports. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys are lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 5 catches for him in that first half, and that's number 6 that we just saw, and also a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll show the defense.
It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 37-yard line. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. They'll look to throw again. This will be caught by Brown. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. Mahomes to throw once more. Oh, and that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. That is caught. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 14. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Back to throw again. That'll be caught by Rice. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2. Working from the gun, Mahomes. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Now Mahomes. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Touchdown. Rashee Rice from 6 yards away. And the Chiefs take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field.
And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And this one also slow and developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
The man in coverage was Trent McDuffie.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. That's taken on the 25.
The Chiefs offense and Patrick Mahomes headed back onto the field. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Second down and a little more than a yard here. Pacheco gets it up the gut. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Open man, it's the tight end, Kelsey. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Headed straight, it's Pacheco. Jeremy Chin there defensively.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Pacheco gets it again on second down. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On third down, it's Pacheco. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So on fourth down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Over the middle, complete. And oh, he coughed it up. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
it is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give them a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. They go right back to him for 20 and a first. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll make it second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. Off play action. Miller under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That was Nick Bolton rushing in and burying him behind the line. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
Yeah. See what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. The Raiders on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Blocked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Got his man. It's Tucker, complete. And the Raiders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And Miller going to get in for a Raider touchdown. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
And this is a balancing act for a head coach with a rookie quarterback. You've got to walk a line with him. You don't want him getting happy feet, but you also don't want to rein in what worked for him in college. And here, he pulls it down, takes it himself, and takes it into the end zone.
Now the Raider offense will stay out there as they'll line up to go for 2.
The Raiders will line up for the 2-point conversion.
They'll look to throw. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, It was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
Running left to give to Pacheco.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep as he'll go instead with Pacheco.
And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Here's Pacheco once again.
And he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the first. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This to make it a 3-score game late. And he missed it. It's no good. And this will stay a 2-score game at 16. Now this one now not over yet, Charles. You've got a sliver of hope on that other sideline.
You certainly do, because that would have made it a 3-score game. And that probably would have been curtains at that point. But now if they can get down the field quickly and somehow get the ball back one more time, we may have a different ball game.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Throwing to start the drive. Miller. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. Decent start there to the drive. Big hill to climb. Needing 2 touchdowns. Also a 2 2-point conversion.
So, partner, how do you eat an elephant?
I don't eat an elephant. Who eats elephant?
But if you do it 1 bite at a time. Okay. That's the way they've got to play this. One play at a time. Yes, there's urgency, but they have to be careful as well.
Let's go with like a 50-ounce ribeye. One bite at a time.
All right, I'm with you.
Miller's pass complete to Trey Tucker. It's a gain of 6. And the Las Vegas 1st down.
One timeout at their disposal, but more pressing is the need for 2 scores, obviously. Here's 1st and 10.
Open man is Myers. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, mini camp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Miller now operating from the gun.
A lot of practice time, a lot of thinking goes into 2-minute drills, even on the defensive side. So now you want to make sure the guys understand. Continue to be aggressive, but make sure you're smart in doing so.
The Arrowhead crowd in full roar. Here's third down.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
Here's 1st and 10.
Off the play fake. Miller. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Boy, this crowd is on pins and needles now because anytime you see the...
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned.
So the touchdown was big. This almost equally big as he'll try to get it to a one-score game with a two-point conversion. And that one is caught. So they convert here, and don't look now, but this one's back to a one-score game. And now we've got a one-score game and at least a little light at the end of the tunnel.
Is that what we call a glimmer of hope?
Glimmer of hope.
Because they've got to get an onside kick and then find their way into the end zone before time expires. Glimmer, or what's less than a glimmer?
I don't know. You're the one that knows all the big words. A sparkle? A sparkle.
Yeah, there we go. That's what we're going with.
So they'll line up for the onside kick. 18 seconds to go. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them. And field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Victory in the cards now for the Chiefs as they take a knee here. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as they get it with 16. Mahomes down to a knee, and that should just about write a finish to this one.
A lot more was on the line in this one than just defending your home field, CD. They defend their home field against a division rival and get the victory, so this one feels a little extra special.
It has to, right? There's always just a little more emphasis on games like this. Everyone talks about playing each game the exact same way, but you and I both know that is not true. Division rivals, you want to take care of business not just at home, but against a team that you really don't like very much, too.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Chiefs victorious here.